Okay, we're back from our first break. Can your Hooters be too big for Hooters? Can the law protect the junk in your badonkadonk? Does size matter? A Michigan judge has allowed lawsuits filed by 2 ex-Hooters waitresses who say they were fired because of their weight. Michigan has a law that prohibits discrimination based on weight. That law also bans discrimination based on age and height. Hooters claims that the law shouldn't apply because their waitresses are entertainers whose appearance is a legitimate business concern. It must require a lot of talent to take an order of beer and hot wings from horny men while dressed in a tight white t-shirt and orange short shorts. It takes me back to my days in law school. If they win, I think this lovely young lady has a great chance to become the next Hooters gal.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That video is coated in awesome sauce.
I think, for some reason, I have a hankering for chicken thighs. Anyways, I'll start with you, Jenny Lynn. Should the law protect or prohibit discrimination based on weight?
I think if you're hired into an establishment where your looks and appearances is a factor, and you don't take care of yourself and you become overweight, yes, because then you're changing the image
of the business. Okay, so the law then should not protect against weight and appearance if weight and appearance is an important thing. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying they should protect against it.
Okay, so the women should be allowed to sue.
No. I'm saying they shouldn't be allowed to sue.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm not a legal person.
Do you guys need a mediary?
Spoken like a woman.
She says you shouldn't be fat and work at Hooters. No. That's the,
Okay, let me correct myself quickly. I think that the Hooters should be able to terminate people who are not maintaining the image that they're going for in their business.
What about you, James?
Speaking for horny men everywhere, I'm totally with Jenny on this. They hire them to be somebody to be pleasing to look at, and if they're not pleasing to look at, then they need to find their stuff elsewhere.
All right. So you basically what both of you guys are saying is that weight is not something like your race or your gender that should be protected by the laws. Am I getting that right?
Depends. If it's a part of a performance, then heck no.
All right, Scott, I know that you applied to be a Hooters waitress once. So now that this law has passed, at least in Michigan, or at least the potential of this law is being applied in Michigan, do you think you have a chance now of being a Hooters gal?
Well, I would really try. Certainly, I'm probably a B cup at this point, but I don't think I'm going to make it. But you see, here's the issue, though, Jim. As you can see, I am just a smidge overweight. And I can tell you,
husky,
larger than life. Yeah. So in my mind, I don't necessarily know if I want to see anyone like me carrying any wings, beer, or really anything except maybe like a diet bar. I mean, I don't.
So you won't do it again, where you, like the last time where you showed up, you delivered your application dressed up in a Hooters waitress outfit?
Well, that was a long time ago, and now I'm on medication now, Jim.
Okay. You were young. You needed the money, right?
Pretty much.
All right. Jenny Lynn, you actually applied to Hooters too, but strangely as a fry cook. So will this affect your job prospects, or will you go back to Hooters to apply to fry cook again?
Sure, because I'll be hidden in the kitchen, so they can't see my assets or lack of.
There you go. Bill, what do you think about this?
Well, Jim, I'm a little disturbed by that little admission you slipped in the beginning there about it takes you back to your days in law school. You were, in fact, a Hooters waitress for a while, weren't you?
Oh, look at my chest. Do you think I look like a Hooters waitress? This is before breast implants.
The other problem, too, is this man makes a valid point. When these women were bringing the wings and the beer, I mean, did the wings show up short a few? Had somebody drunk one of the pitchers on the way?
Yeah, I would not know.
Yeah, I'm just saying, maybe they're saying it's weight, but it has more to do with something else.
Right. Perhaps it's thievery and they're trying to protect them.
Okay. I'm saying, here's your dozen wings, -4.
Well, I'll just throw this out to the group. Would any of you guys go to Hooters if they were forced to hire fat waitresses?
We're talking about Michigan, Jim.
Well,
especially the UP. I mean, some people pay extra for that. Okay.
So, California. California will pass will not pass up an opportunity to pass a stupid law. So if applied in California, would you guys go to the Hooters down at Fisherman's Wharf if they had fat waitresses?
Well, yeah, I think I would, because you could open up a whole facet of new dating sites, like chubby chasers and things like that. I think it'd be a great money-making venture for them.
All right. Okay, let's move on to issue number 4. They grow up so fast, but they live in the past. They're 30 going on 13. In their heads, they're forever 21, as their bodies creep into middle age. An article in the New York Times, a newspaper of declining rapidly and living off its past glories, discusses the phenomenon of emerging adulthood, where people in their 20s are delaying going through the traditional rites of adulthood, completing school, leaving home, becoming financially independent, marrying, and having a child. Some don't even go through all the stages, foregoing marriage or children, or still living with mom and dad. Now, being the New York Times, they get insight from a bunch of numerous touchy-feely psychologists who, being touchy-feely psychologists, offer plenty of touchy-feely psychobabble, such as our brains don't mature until we're 25, or since we live longer, we can postpone major life decisions, or younger generations are more self-absorbed, or parental expectations are different, etc., etc. But with no clear answer, For more, we turn to our youth correspondent, Hitori Dansimura. How does it feel to youth? Hitori, what do you say to this?
You better hope you really know where'd you get this video from? Part of Jim's private collection of that. I don't want to think about it.
Sadly, Hitori went native in this story, but I'll go to you. Start with you, Bill.
Oh, please do.
Is the concept of emerging adulthood just another wussy way of saying immature mama's boys?
Probably. First, I'm disturbed by the fact that you're actually trolling the New York Times for your stories. Isn't that a little highbrow for you?
A little lowbrow for me.
All right. But I think among these milestones they tick off, they've left off divorce and dying, and I think people are putting that off too. And
now, some people actually go through that before having a child.
Dying?
Divorcing.
Oh, I see. Oh.
And dying sometimes too, if you can freeze the sperm or save the eggs.
I'm just going to pass the question.
All right. Well, let's see here. Scott, what do you think is the cause of, assuming this phenomenon is real, what do you think is the cause?
I think that shut up, Mom. I think that this is an excellent time. I want to know how it is I'm supposed to get a job, get an apartment, get a woman, and everything else when I'm trying to hit my 20,000 hours on my video game, trying to sue a company to make tons of money. How am I supposed to hit 20,000 hours if he's going to get a job?
Well, you didn't really sue the video game company. You actually sued Hooters.
Well, I'm working on the video game company too.
Oh, okay. Well,
look, I'm unemployed. I got to take it where I can get it.
So you got to tell me the stuff in the green room there, Scott. James, what do you think?
Oh well, I think it's very, very attractive for a man to stay at home with his mom and have her cook his meals and everything, and he's gonna really score a lot with that one. Yeah.
Scott?
Well,
are you referring to Scott or just failure to launch people in general?
No, I'm fine with that. I'm living at home. I'm enjoying it. No one loves you like your mother. She cooks the best meals and does my laundry. It's awesome. Go ahead and hate.
Okay.
So your mother loves you, does she?
Right.
Let's not go there.
Not that much.
Next.
Not that much.
Well, Jenny Lynn, since you're going to at least address stage 4 of the 5 categories, marrying that guy who's in Hawaii, what do you think about this?
In my opinion, whether they're living home in mom's house physically or whether they're living in a marriage, they're still living with mom. They're expecting it to be living with mom. They're expecting the women they're living with to be their moms. Sorry, guys, but I'm not just speaking from my own experience, but the experience of other females that I interact with.
But what about that dream guy in Hawaii? Do you think he still lives with his mom and dad?
I'm sure he does. I mean, how could you play all those games and not take a shower and not live with mom? Then how do you live?
Was that a deal breaker for you then? And because we were going to set you up.
Well, I'm kind of a caretaker, so no. Okay. I'm looking forward to giving his mom a break.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. I'll just throw this out to the general group. Do you think this is a sign of possible societal decline? We got 30 seconds.
Ever since Friends came on the air, yes, it's been declining ever since. I blame it all on Jennifer Aniston.
Anybody?
It's a decline, but it's a lovely ride.
Ah, okay. All right. Okay. How does it feel to euthanize puppies and kittens the old-fashioned way? By drowning them with your bare hands? Scott Birch tells us after our next break. And if we're good, he'll show us pictures.